All right, Jesse Fire, welcome back to the channel. So Conor McGregor on Twitter 3 hours ago just called for a title fight against Oliveira. He said, Ireland versus Brazil, part 2. Now that is a smart way to ask for that title fight. I will say that right now because, look, listen, it's not going to happen. Gaethje is going to fight Oliveira first, and then we'll see what happens. I'm surprised. I don't know what is going on with Conor, right? I got people in my inbox telling me he's going to 170. He weighs 190 pounds. I don't understand. Why would you be doing that if you're going back down to 155? So everything can, you know what? I've always said I don't think Conor does his own Twitter half the time. I really don't. I think that, actually, I know it's not always Conor because sometimes he's clever. I did this video way back when, and Mixed Molly actually put it. Mixed Molly put that clip in one of the early videos where Mixed Molly recommended my channel. That was the clip that he used because he thought it was so funny. Because it was like, do you guys remember when Conor did the tweet and it was like, here's the GOAT thread, and it was like the GOAT thread, who's really the GOAT? And it listed out all the potential greatest of all time candidates, and he put himself in there, and it was like, and I saw that, I was like, there's no way that Conor actually wrote this tweet. This is so stupid. Anyway, so I used to talk about that all the time because I was like Conor is super clever and funny, right? He talks about putting people's teeth on a necklace. That is Conor. GOAT thread. Who's really the GOAT? It just sounds like some guy managing his Twitter. Also, remember the retirement brownie cake? It's like, I retire, and it was it's so stupid. Everyone's all, no, he's retired. I was like, are you guys joking? This is right when I first started the channel. I was like, are you guys serious? You actually think he's really retired because some guy made a $6 brownie cake and then wrote happy retirement daddy on it? Conor's worth so much money. You think that's the kind of cake that they would give him for a retirement cake? Hello? Okay. Conor doesn't eat $6 cakes, bro. Okay. That's not how this works. If he's really retiring, they go get a $600 cake. Okay. Jeez. Just think for your guys, just for a second, just imagine that maybe some of the things that are put on social media and on television might have an ulterior motive than just exactly what they say. Jesus. Anywho, but yeah, so Conor's calling for another title shot, I guess. It says Ireland versus Brazil, part 2. All indications were that he's going to 170. I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe someone's managing his Twitter. Maybe he's just getting people to talk like this, which is really smart. But let's at least, talk about it, because there's no way you can put him directly into a title shot, obviously. You can't do it. Listen, as a fan, okay, as a fan who loves big fights, I always default to give me the big fight because it's exciting and I love it, right? But like I've said, just for the UFC's business, for the structural hierarchy of the belt being valid, you can't do it. And I believe in that also, okay? You can't just only be the biggest hyped guy in the world. You have to at least earn it a little bit, you have to earn it just a little bit. But think about it like this, dude. You got Dustin coming off a loss. You got Makhachev and Dariush who are about to fight, okay? You've got Gaethje and Charles who are going to fight, so either Gaethje or Charles will be out of the picture. So Conor can be one fight from a title fight. He just has to beat one of those guys, right? He's going to have to beat either Gaethje after he loses, or Gaethje after he loses, Gaethje or Charles after they lose that fight. Dustin, okay, I would suggest against that fight, personally, just in terms of, only if I was advising Conor, I'd be like, look, man, maybe maybe it's just a bad matchup now. Maybe it's just a bad matchup. Dustin seems basically impenetrable unless you are such an exceptional ground practitioner that you could choke him. Aside from that, he doesn't really look like he's very beatable, dude. He doesn't look very beatable. But then you have Dariush or Makhachev, who are both absolute monsters. If Makhachev loses to Dariush, that would be so tragic, because I really want to see Makhachev fight against Charles Oliveira or fight against Gaethje or whatever. I really just, and more than anything, I want to see Conor fight Makhachev. I want that so bad. If I can't have Khabib and Conor 2 under ideal circumstances like we would have had if he would have beat Dustin, then Makhachev versus Conor under similar circumstances will do just fine, But yeah, if you get Makhachev and then you get Charles, and then Charles smashes Makhachev, and then he actually makes a point to call out Khabib, Like, you'd have to do it in a way that is very kind of counter to Charles's personality, I think. You know, you'd have to be almost disrespectful, you know? And I normally do not like, I mean, I don't like not like it. I don't like it or not. I don't like it when you're talking about a person who is extraordinarily respectful himself to everyone, which is Khabib. Like, Khabib never he'll say like, this guy's weak or whatever, but that's as far as it goes, and you know exactly what he's doing. He's trying to talk Islam Makhachev into a fight or whatever, right? Like, it's the only time he really does it. Although he did talk shit about Aldo. That was kind of weird. But nonetheless, right? It's like, he generally commands respect to where if, like, what you would need to say to try to talk him into a fight after you vanquished basically his little brother would be pretty mean, you know? And then you'd get a very motivated Khabib, though, maybe. But how exciting would that be? The payday's worth it. If you're the champion and you get to talk Khabib into the comeback, you know how much money you're going to make? You know, what's the money worth to you? You want to just get a personality transplant? Conor won't have a problem doing it. You bet your life on that. But Conor would have to beat a few people to be able to even be in that position. Anyway, I'm talking a lot. This video perfectly represents the 155-pound division, right? Conor tweets maybe this one, and you talk through 48 scenarios because, I mean, look at 55. Seriously, still look at it. Like, I know Charles right now is the king, and he's beat Chandler, he's beat Dustin, he's a savage, right? But he has not in any way cleared out this division, right? Because there are a lot of different stylistic matchups that he has not faced. He has not. Islam Makhachev, dude, you choke Islam Makhachev, that's a whole different ballgame, right? Charles, thus far, but Charles has been choked before. Like, he's been choked in his career. It's just crazy to think about. Like, he beats Gaethje. He still has more guys to beat, you know? He's going to have to face Islam, Dariush, maybe both at some point. There's so many. And then if Conor can beat one of these guys and get himself into a title shot, although I still think he's going to 170, it would make no sense. Dude, you can put on muscle and not put on weight, okay? I mean, Conor was really lean, obviously, but it makes no sense to get yourself bulked up to $190 if you're coming back to 155. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm serious. Like, you don't have to be a professional fighter to know that, man. Like, I know a lot about building muscle, and I know a lot about trimming down. Like, that's Conor's a guy who's thinking about his fight career. Obviously, there's no benefit to that. Unless he's just like, I'm not going to fight until July. I guess I'll just cut I don't know. Like, what would... Anyway. I'm just like, I don't know who's right. Because I'm literally hearing from people who are saying that they know that he's going to 170 for sure. And then he's saying he wants a shot at 55. I think that's what he's talking about. It's very confusing. Very, very confusing. But very exciting at the same time. Gaethje versus Oliveira is going to be very interesting. Because based on the Khabib fight, there's no question what happens if this fight goes to the ground. Like, if this fight goes to the ground, there is no question what happens. None. Zero. Right? But Gaethje is a human sledgehammer killing machine. Right? I mean, he is an extraordinarily tough sledgehammer, leg kicking, face smashing gangster. So, yeah. Anyway, I've probably talked enough now on this little topic, but if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell.